Good afternoon to everyone. On behalf of the Sri Lanka Export Development Board, I warmly welcome you all for the 24th webinar organized by the Sri Lanka Export Development Board. This will be another important webinar that organized by the Sri Lanka Export Development Board. We have conducted a series of webinars during the past in various topics. So this is also will be a very interested one. Let's move to the topic today, thinking out of the box, the definite way to add value to your products. This is, I feel, very relevant and timely topic nowadays when it comes to the exports, value addition and innovation are key areas which has to be considered with the rapidly changing requirement in the international market. And also the topic thinking out of the box. We know that in any matter, we also always ask into thinking out of the box. So we will see what is the thinking out of box with the today's presentation. The key areas that the presenter is going to discuss with you today are the concept of the value addition, why it is required, what is thinking out of the box, and how to add value through thinking out of the box, especially for the entrepreneurs who want to enter into the export market and secure their existence in such a competitive platform. These are essential concepts that you want to know. So let me remind you the order of the presentation today. The resource person will do the presentation around 45 minutes continuously, and later we will have 5 to 10 minutes questions and answer session. If you have any questions, you can use the chat box and to submit the question. And we try to answer your questions as much as possible during that period if the question is relevant. So let me introduce today's resource person, Dr. Shyaman Udayanga, Head and Senior Lecturer of the Department of Entrepreneurship, University of Sri Jayewardenepura. He is a brilliant character. He has contributed to national level programs such as the introduction of the BSc Entrepreneurship Special Degree Program and the establishment of the Department of Entrepreneurship at the Faculty of Management Studies and Commerce, University of Sri Jayewardenepura. And introduction of the Master's Degree in Entrepreneurship, and also establishment of Chamber of Small and Medium Enterprises, COSME, and also the co-founder of Small and Medium Enterprise Development Support Unit at the University of Sri Jayewardenepura in 2003. If I highlight the academic qualifications of our Dr. Udayanga briefly, he is having a PhD in entrepreneurship, BSc in Business Administration, Special Honours Degree at University of Sri Jayewardenepura, MSc in Management, University of Sri Jayewardenepura, FCBA in Chartered Institute of Business Administrators, MIM in Institute of Management, Sri Lanka. So with that, I am not taking much time. I would like to invite Dr. Shyaman Udayanga to start the session. Dr. Udayanga, over to you, please.
Thank you, Madam Kumuduni. I wish all my audience a long life. I Bhuvan. So then, shall we directly move to the our presentation and discussion without any delay? So as we discussed earlier, the topic is about value addition through thinking out of the box. So I would first like talk about what value addition is. So as indicated in the slides, value addition is the difference between the price of the product and the cost of production. So it is graphically depicted here in the slide. So for an example, if we take the price of the product is 100 rupees and you have our cost of 80 rupees, then the balance between 100 and 80 is 20. That is the value addition. So then this value addition can be taken as a profit of the business, but uh, then in inside the factory the 20 rupees will be the profit, but when we go to take it to the customer, so we have to sell, incur cost of selling. So then why when we deduct some amount for the cost of selling, the profit will be remain. So as I explained here, the profit is given in red color, cost of selling is given in the orange color. Then the total cost of production is 80 rupees in this example. Then this value addition that I explained you earlier, 20 rupees, is the amount that the customer like to pay in addition to the cost of production. Then as I explained in the first line, the price is determined by what customers are willing to pay based on their perceived value. So this concept of perceived value is a very important concept here. So you should have a very clear idea. Value perceived by the customer. So the perceived value may not have a definite amount because it depends on perception of the customer. So some customers may ascribe a high value to the product. Some customers may not ascribe such a big value to the product. So depending on that, some customers may like to pay more than 100 rupees for this, even though you are selling it at 100. And some customers may believe that 100 paying 100 rupees may not worth for this your product. Then the concept of customers perceived value is explained here in this line. Perceived value is the customer's evaluation of the merit of product, evaluation of the merits of a product, that is the advantages that the customer see in your product. The customer think that the product gives him or her something more than that he pay, then the customer's perceived value would be higher than the price. So then as given here, perceived value is the customer's own perception, his or her own perception. So it is a unique idea of customer, and especially the customer's perceived value depends on the competitor's product. So that is why it is said here, perceived value is the customer's own perception of products or merit to them, especially in comparison to competitors' product. So always when the customer going to purchase a product from the market, he or she compares it with the other products available in the market. So then if the competitors' products and your products both have the same price, but if the customer understand that the competitor's product gives him more value to the same price, he or she will not purchase your product. Then the customer will go to the competitor's product. Then if the customer go to the competitor's product because he saw her own perception that competitor's product gives him or her more value, you will not have a survival in the market. Therefore, always you have to keep the customer's expectations of your products very high and meet these expectations. So perceived value is measured by the price the public is willing to pay for a good or service. So then as we explain here, if the product of your organization, your product provides a more value to the customer as he understand, then definitely you would have a survival there. Then the amount that you can earn as a profit also depend on the customer's understanding of its value to him or her. Thus, to win the competition, you have to do what others do not do, because the customer always compare your product with others' product when he or she is going to make the decision on buying or purchasing. So this comparison happen. Therefore, you have to offer something that other competitors do not offer to the customers. So as given here, in other words, you need to innovate in order to differentiate your product from others. So if your product is differentiated from the competitor's product through innovative features, you will have a survival. And especially in the export market, you are in a very big and high competition, not like in the local market. So there will be large number of suppliers who providing the same service or product to the customer. So customer has a big choice. So then you have to ensure that your product is giving the customer the maximum value for the money he or she paying. Then to do the innovations, you have to think out of the box. Innovation is something that other people do not do in the market. It is your own features, your own features, or the features you introduce to your product. So if the competitors can't offer the same feature, the same characteristics to their product, then you will have a survival. So in other words, you need to you need to have an innovative product in the market. Innovative product. It should have more innovative features in comparison to the competitors. But as I said, to ensure that your product is innovative, you should have a habit of thinking out of the box. Then the problem is what thinking out of the box. But before talking about thinking out of the box, shall we discuss something more about value addition? Then say for an example, if you are offering customer what he or she expect from your product, what he or she just expect, customer will be satisfied. Customer will be satisfied. Right? So customer satisfaction really related with your ability to providing him what he or she expect, meeting the expectations. Then in today's business world, making customer satisfied is not enough to survive, because most of the products offer the features that the customer expect. So then some people say that instead of satisfying customer, you need to delight the customers. That is delighting customer is something more than satisfaction. Customer is delighted. But to delight the customer, what you have to do is giving something more than customer expected. So for an example, you're offering kind of a hand phone to the customer. So then if the customer expect a telephone facility, and if you are giving only the telephone facility through your product, then a customer will be satisfied. Then in addition to just deliver the phone facility, telephone facility, if you are providing some other innovative features but are related with the phone service, the customer will be delighted. That is giving something more than customer expected. But in the today's environment, it is said that customer satisfaction or delight in the customer is not enough for the survival. So you have to amaze the customers. So to amaze the customers, you have to give what the customer expect first, as well as then what he is totally unexpected. Say for an example, the same example, a hand phone. Say you go to the market and for a particular shop and ask the Mudalali hand phone. Then when the Mudalali is giving you the hand phone, Mudalali says, Mahatya, inside this phone, you can find not only the telephone facility, but there is a camera inside this, there is a torch, there is a diary, there is the computer games, then you can watch your TV here, there are internet facilities, and like that the manga is explaining a lot of features that you never expected from a phone. Then that is what is the customer totally unexpected. When the supplier provides the customer something unexpected, customer will be amazed. Customer will be amazed. Then the thing is how to provide what is unexpected by the customer. For that purpose, you have to think out of the box and introduce more and more features to your product that the customer did not expect. So then ultimately what I have to say that if you are not thinking out of the box and introduce innovative features, your customer will be just satisfied. But if you are just satisfying the customer, you won't have a survival, because other innovative competitors may capture the your customer market by offering innovative facilities with their products. Therefore, to survive in the modern environment, in the modern business environment, you need to always amaze the customer by offering what is unexpected by the customer. This is for an example, when Steve Jobs introduced a smartphone, there was no other person introduced the same phone to the market. Only the Steve Jobs smartphone was there. Then for the group of people or the customers who used to traditional hand phone, and when Steve Jobs introduced the smartphone with a lot of other facilities, customers were amazed. So then it is said that if you are thinking of a customer's needs, if you are thinking of the customer needs, you won't be able to amaze the customer, because it is said that the customers very badly unaware about his or her needs. So no customer came to the market and asked for a smartphone before Steve Jobs presented it. So the need of the smartphone was created not by the customer or not by the market, but the need for the smartphone was created by Steve Jobs, by a very innovative company or a person, Steve Jobs and Apple Computers. So Apple Computers created a new market and amazed the customer by offering very, very innovative products. But these innovative products Innovative products were something unexpected by the customers and all the other people in the market. And for that purpose, you have to think out of the box. Think out of the box. Say, for an example, when we talk about a telephone, we have some preconceived idea of what features a telephone should have. Then, if we can go beyond these features and introduce something that is going out of the box, then if we go back to the concept of value addition, you can add value to the product by reducing the cost and improving the quality. Then in this diagram, the graph, you can see that earlier, as we explained, the price of the product is 100 rupees, the cost of production is 80, and the value addition is 20 rupees. Then with out of the box thinking, if you could take actions to reduce the cost of production and lowered it up to 60, then there will be a value addition of 40 rupees. What I have given here is the figures given is not correct. Cost of production is 60 rupees, cost of selling 10 rupees, then the profit should be 30. It should be corrected here. This should be 30 rupees. Then the problem is how to reduce the cost of production, how to reduce the cost. It's a challenging thing, but this also need thinking out of the box. Not thinking traditionally, thinking in an innovative way. Then if you could reduce the cost of products up to 60 rupees, then you will have a profit margin of 30 rupees even after reducing, deducting for the cost of selling. Then in comparison to the previous example, you have a bigger value margin here, a profit margin here. So then reducing your cost of production is also requires some innovations. Innovations in the field of business does not refer only to the new product or new services or new product features. The innovation can be introduced to your production process, your product, or to your organization. And like that, innovation may cover a very broad field. Then shall we look at another example of a reduction of the cost? The traditional thinking, cost plus profit equals to the price. Cost, not only the cost of production, cost of sales, and all the cost taken together, and when your profit is added to that, the price of the product is decided. Then in the traditional thinking, if you need to increase the profit, you will keep the cost unchanged, remaining unchanged. Then you have to increase the profit margin like this. Then when you increase the profit, when the other people in the market, when your competitors do not increase the price, you will get a competitive disadvantage in comparison to the products of the competitors. So then your sales will be badly affected. You may try to earn profit margin of a high profit margin than earlier, but the total profit will be reduced due to the reduction of the demand due to the high price. Then when we apply the concept of thinking out of the box, so we will have to find innovative ways of increasing the profit. Innovative ways of increasing the profit. So in a country like Japan, when they need to increase the profit margin, they do not increase the price. Instead of increasing the price, the company will reduce the cost of production. So instead of increasing the price, the Japanese company is always trying to reduce the cost of production. Then when the cost of production is reduced, you will automatically gain a high profit margin. Then how to reduce the cost of production is a big problem, because sometimes the reduction of the cost may involve with the badly damaging the quality of the product. Badly damaging the quality. If the essential cost have been cut off, the quality of the product will be badly affected. Therefore, instead of cutting the needed cost, you have to cut the wastage. That is what Japanese companies are doing in the market. So that is how they always have been able to give a very big competition to the Western competitors. So when we take a vehicle or electronic items, the same vehicle and same with the luxurious facilities, the same electronic items it is offered to the customer at a low price, but with a high perceived value by the customer. Then how to reduce the cost of production? So as I said, to reduce the cost of production, you have to be innovative and think out of the box. So instead of reducing the essential cost, you have to identify the wastage and cut the waste off. Then next thing is that when we say that cutting the cost or cutting the wastage, we think that wastage happens only through the raw material. So it is a thinking within the box. If you think within the box, wastage just refers to the waste of raw material. But instead of that, Japanese define waste in a very broader way. Then they identified 8 or 9 types of wastage. Shall we see them in the next slide? So these are the examples of 8 wastage in a business. So whenever you need to reduce the cost, you reduce this wastage. The number 1, defects. The damages happen to the product. Defects. Say if it is a porcelain products, so the damages to the product itself are identified as defects. Maybe a hole in a plate. Then number 2, overproduction. If you do not have a clear idea about your demand and produce more and more and try to store it in your company, in your stores, it will involve a waste of your money, overproduction. So you should have a clear idea about the demand of the product and produce only what is expected within the given period. Then if you produce more than what is demanded, you will have to incur a big cost. That is a wastage. It's an overproduction. Then number 3, waiting time. Say your production process involves several steps, say step 1, 2, 3, and like that. Then say in the stage one, some raw materials are assembled together and sent to the second person or the second machine. But in the second machine, if the machine operator have to wait or waste time there till the first process sending the material or the assemble material to the second person, that is a wasting of time. Then wasting of this time is known as here as a waiting time. Waiting. If you wait, if you have to wait, wasting the time, it will be a cost for your product. It will be added to the price. So then if you can minimize waiting time during the assembling process, you can minimize the waste and minimize the cost. Then number 4, non-utilized talents of the people. So for an example, even though you have best employees taken from the market and you are paying them big salaries, but even though you hired the best people and offering them big salaries, but if you are not allowing them to make decisions and work independently, their talents will not be used. Then this non-utilized talent is a waste. Say you have innovative employees and your employees have innovative ideas, but you never listen to the employees. And you never use these ideas to improve the quality of the product. And that is a waste. That is a waste. So it is given as non-utilized talents. Then next, transportation. Maybe inside or outside the company, you have to transport several items here and there. Maybe transporting raw materials or transporting final products, whatever. If you are doing transportation unnecessarily, maybe transporting in small quantities many times may result in a waste of cost, waste of money. That is transportation. Transportation done unnecessarily will be a cost of production, will be a cost of finally that the cost you incurred is completely a waste. Then inventory. So storing inventory unnecessarily, maybe raw material or finished products, whatever, if the unnecessary inventory is maintained, it is a cost. And motions. If the factory layout is not designed properly, the people will have to move here and there unnecessarily between the machines and other equipments. So then if you can design the layout properly so that the employees' motions would be minimized, you can reduce the cost. So then whatever unnecessary motions of employees is a waste of your money, motions. Then extra processing. Say for an example, say you are brushing your shoes with polish, then to have a better look, 20 strokes of brushes is enough. But if the 20 stroke of brush is enough, but if you are brushing it more than 20 times, it is extra processing. Extra processing. So then taking all these 8 waste and their first letter of the term DOWNTIME, DOWN, down, TIME, time. So these 8 waste are identified as downtime. Then if you have a very clear idea about this, if you are familiar with these waste, you can easily minimize the cost of production. And sell the product at the market with a big profit margin without increasing the price. So identification of these kind of 8 ways was also a type of thinking out of the box. Because as I said, traditionally when we refer the term waste, entrepreneurs think that waste is always related with the raw material. When we say minimize your wastage, so then we think that the waste can be only raw material. But instead of this kind of a very narrow looking at the waste, the Japanese have a very broader view of waste. That is a kind of or an example of thinking out of the box. So this thinking out of the box this way finally help the companies to reduce the cost of production, allowing the company to earn high profit without price increase. So price remain unchanged, but company earn a big profit before earlier. So then you can compare this the difference between traditional thinking and thinking out of the box. So traditional thinking of how to increase the profit. Then in the traditional thinking, you do not touch the cost, but increase the profit margin. Then your product will not be so competitive, because if your competitors are not increasing the prices, so you will engage in a competitive disadvantage. Then shall we again talk about the value addition and how to add value. So value addition can be done through, as I explained earlier, minimizing the cost of production and improving the quality. Minimizing the cost of production or by maximizing or improving, enhancing quality of the product. Then if the quality of the product can be improved and the cost of production can be minimized, you will be able to earn a big price in the market. So if you need, you can sell the product at the same old price, but as this time you added more value by improving the quality, you can add a big price margin to the profit margin to the product. Then you will be, earlier you sold the product at 100 rupees, but this time due to the improving of the quality, you have been able to increase the price. Price could be increased without incurring any competitive disadvantage as your quality is improved. And in addition to the improved quality, added value due to the improved quality, so your cost of production also has been reduced. So you will be able to charge a premium price, that is as given here in this example, that is 120 rupees. So then your product will thrive in the market, and no competitor will be able to challenge you under this condition. Then explaining what is thinking out of the box. So I said that to reduce the cost of production, you have to think out of the box. As well as to improve the quality, you have to think out of the box. Now we are going to talk about how to improve the quality and decrease the cost of production through out of the box, through out of the box thinking. Then when we say a watermelon, this kind of idea of the fruit will be generated by all of us. This is the idea generated within ourselves when we say a watermelon. Watermelon. But it is the traditional idea, traditional fruit, traditional idea. Then if you can add value to this, if you can add value to this, you will be able to improve the quality of the product. The product here is the watermelon. Improve the quality as well as charge high priced premium price. Yeah, how to do that? How to improve the quality of the watermelon? It's a big question. So you think that watermelon is naturally produced. It is a decision of the mother nature, according to most of the businessmen. But the nature also, the mother nature, the natural environment, ecological environment, all these factors that decide the shape and taste and everything of the product could be manipulated by the people, could be manipulated by the people. So this is an example where the quality of the watermelon is improved. Then I wanted to ask another question. Then if we take this kind of or a size of a watermelon, what would be the price in our market? Shall we assume that a good fruit of a watermelon can be purchased at 500 rupees, say 2 kilo weighing 2 kilograms, 500 rupees? Then by improving the quality of this, by thinking out of the box, improving the quality like this, the price will be very high. Now see, this is the traditional watermelon. So then if I ask you to draw a picture of a watermelon, you could definitely, you all draw something like this. But then this is the work of Japanese farmers. So one particular farmer, I can't remember his name, he thought about producing a square watermelon, because it gives a lot of advantages. The cost of production as well as the cost of transporting, etc., could be minimized by this kind of production. So this can be stored when transporting, this can be stored within a vehicle very easily. It will not be rolled here and there inside the vehicle when it is transported. So the damages happen to the product is minimal. And big quantity can be transported. So transporting cost also can be minimized. As well as it is very easy to peel. So if we take a round watermelon, peeling take a long time. It's very difficult. But with 6 knife shots, you can peel this. So peeling is very easy, transporting is very easy, damages happen is very minimal, as well as this appearance of the product, this innovative appearance of the product, whatever available inside, this outward appearance help the farmer to charge 18,000 yen for a fruit. 18,000 yen. So 18,000 yen converted into Sri Lankan rupees today is around 31,000. 31,000 rupees or 32,000. That is the 31,745. That is approximately 32,000 rupees. Then this is also a watermelon, but we could charge only 500 rupees from the customer. But by changing the shape, not the taste or not the color, but just only the shape, by changing the shape, the producer has been able to earn a very big profit. It is thinking out of the box. But then still the problem is what is out of the box is not so clear so far. So I will take few examples to explain you what thinking out of the box is. What thinking out of the box is. Now look at this, the shape of this watermelon. What is the price? 190,460. 190,000. So you see, it is Japanese price is given here. It is 108,000 yen. 108,000 yen. Then 108,000 yen converted into Sri Lankan rupees is 190,000 for just a fruit of a watermelon, for a single watermelon. Now our farmers cultivating here in Sri Lanka in the dry zone, and they have a very big problem of the harvest is destroyed by the elephants. Even though you cultivated a big chain, maybe with 2 or 3 acres, so it would be very difficult for you to protect it from the damages of the wild elephants. But in this case, having a single plant of watermelon is enough, because one fruit of watermelon can be sold for 190,000. So you need not to go to China there. You just plant it in your compound in a pot, and taking it in the evening, taking it inside your house, keep it protectively inside the house, and in the morning again taking out for the sunlight, and just with one fruit you can earn the same profit that you earn through a very big chain of cultivation. A very simple idea. So how to produce this kind of fruit? It is just making several sizes of molds. If take the desired shape, first create a mold with a desired shape in different sizes. First put when the product is at the young age, put it in the small mold, and then when it grows, change the mold, put it into a larger one, and like that you make any kind of a mold, any shape of mold that you want. You will be able to produce the desired shape of a watermelon. Then you see the branding of the product. Here this traditional pyramid, what is this this mummy, Pharaoh mummy picture was given here, and this the brand is also adding some value to this logo, is also adding some value to the product. And you see at the bottom of here some pictures of two camels have been fixed there just to show that this is a product of Middle East, but it is a Japanese product. But the producer or the supplier try to create a very big image about the product by using these pictures. Then why is this high priced? Did the customer satisfied or delighted or amazed? So to see this kind of a fruit is sort of a amazement for anyone. So then the company or this producer earned this much of a price because he or she could amaze the customers, not satisfy the customers. If you want to satisfy the customer, you just provide traditional uh, oval shape watermelon. If you when the customer asks for a watermelon, you just produce a traditional oval shape watermelon, you may earn 500 rupees. But with this kind of marvelous production, you could amaze the customer, and that amazement of the customer make him pay 190,000 for the product. Thinking completely out of the box. Then another shape of watermelon, very attractive, like giving your heart to someone. So shall we answer next this question? What is out of the box thinking is? What is out of the box thinking? So before talking about out of the box, shall we first talk about thinking within a box? So if you have a pen and a paper in your hand, would you please draw a picture of a fish, please? Just have a rough sketch of a fish using a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen. I'll give you 10 seconds. Right? I think you finished. Then if you can, will you draw a small, very simple sketch of a mouse and a cat, an alien, please? You have talked about aliens many times, Peter Sakkola Jeevin. So please draw an alien. Right. Fish, then rat, a cat, an alien. Then shall we see how did you draw the picture of a fish? So if you have finished drawing the fish, is this kind of the kind of curve you draw first? Then another curve like this, and giving the tail like this, and the upper fin like this, down fin like this, then the eye of the fish, and just a small ball, and this, and sometimes some air balls also. So then when we ask the people to draw a fish, this is the traditional way that the Sri Lankans draw a fish. That is because this kind of drawing fish like this was trained to them by their Montessori teachers. So even at the age of 30, 40, 50 or 60, if you are given a chance of drawing a fish, still you use the same picture taught you by your Montessori teacher. It's a Montessori thinking. But you might have seen this kind of fish in the sea. But then I think no one thought of this kind of a fish when I asked you to draw a fish. So very beautiful. And this is another picture that I downloaded from the internet. It's a very nice picture of a fish with a small lip, like a small baby girl. Very nice picture. Or this kind of angry fish, like Chutesomi. So different kind of thinking. So these are out of the box thinking. A fish like this, thinking out of the box. But this is thinking within a box, as trained to you by your Montessori teacher. Then mouse. So once I asked employees of a particular organization to draw a mouse. So they were designers. So then they have drawn a real kind of a mouse. But then when I question them, can you sell them in the market? They say, no, this picture cannot be sold. And I asked, being the employees of this particular organization, why did you draw a fish that has no price in the market? But then I said that, have you heard about Mao's who earned billion of dollars for his country? So they were amazed to see this kind of a mouse, Mickey Mouse, earning billion of dollars. But if the author of this particular concept, Mickey Mouse, drew the same kind of a real shape of a rat, it will not have such a big demand in the market. Then another kind of a mouse, then cat, Tom and Jerry cat, you can remember. You enjoyed very much this when you as a small child. But another cat, Simon's cat, another kind of a thinking, and Garfield, quite different. But if you are requested to draw a cat, you all will draw the same kind of a cat. Watermelon, then as we said, if I ask you to draw a watermelon, you traditionally will do this kind of things. But the shapes of watermelons can be changed. But all these are the result of out of the box. Then if you take a watermelon, what can we change to increase the quality? What can we change? So we can change the shape, as we explained earlier. But not only the shape, color, inner color as well as outer color can be changed. So normally watermelons, outer color of the watermelon is green. So can't we produce a red color watermelon? Red, outside red, inside green. Or we can change the taste, we can change the size, and we can change a lot of other factors of watermelon. So then if you are capable of thinking like this, then we can say that you are thinking out of the box. You are a person who are thinking out of the box, and then definitely you will be able to do a lot of innovative things to your product. Then alien. So I ask you to draw an alien. Is your alien like this? So this alien has a head like human head. It has a nose. It has two eyes. It has a mouth. It has a neck, shoulder, hands. Then really what this picture missing is only the hair. Otherwise it is a complete human, not an alien. So who can say an alien should be like a human? To see the world we need eyes. To breathe, to survive we need to breathe. Then to breathe we need the nose. To survive we have to eat. To eat we should have a mouth. and we should have a head and a brain. Then head will be connected to the body with the neck. So all these are thinking within the box. We are drawing not an alien, but another kind of a human. හරියට අර පිළිකා රෝහලේ ඉන්න කීමෝതെරපි කරලා කෙස්සැලිච්ච මිනිසෙක් වගේ පිළිකා රෝගියෙක් වගේ. So then some people, when we asked to draw an alien, some people fix two aerials also on the head to take the signals. So the concept of aerial to take the signal was thinking within the box. Our hand phones had an aerial several years ago, several decades ago. All the hand phones came earlier, had an aerial. But now radios do not have aerials, TV do not have aerials, then hand phones do not have aerial. But still, if you are asked to draw an alien, you still draw aerials on the head to take the signals. That is, then we have to say that you have been a victim of thinking within the box, thinking within the box. Then can you tell me what you are, what you can see here? What you can see here? My time has been fast that it is exactly 3 o'clock, but just I think I would be able to take 10 minutes time more. What you can see here? Yes, please. Try it. So many of the audience may answer that you can see here parts of lathe machines or some black patches. But really here given are two English term words, fly, F-L-Y, fly, T-I-E, tie. But you could not identify these two words because from the childhood you were used to read the letters in black or dark color in a white background. At the very first day your mother teach you the alphabetical letters, she may pointed her finger at the alphabet and say, pointing at a black patch, might have said, son, this is A. Son, this is B. This is C. So then from that day onwards, you used to look at the dark patches in the white background when you are reading something. But unfortunately here, what is given is the letters are given in the white color in a black background. If you still can't see the words fly and tie, F-L-Y, fly, T-I-E, tie, now you will be able to see the fly in white color in a dark background. Inside the black background, you can clearly see the word F-L-Y, fly. Then now, if you can see the fly, look at the bottom one. There you can read the word tie, T-I-E, tie. Then why could not you see these two words earlier? That is because you were a victim of the thinking within the box. Thinking within the box. What is the box? The box is the idea that letters are written in black in the white background. Then when your mind is filled with this kind of traditional thinking, you never be able to come up with innovations, thinking out of the box. So what is the box? Box is letters are written in black in the white background. But here it is given in the other way, out of the box. Then there is a small story to be conveyed to you. You know, Switzerland is one of the most famous countries for the production of watches. Then several decades ago, one person with a new watch, digital watch, had approached the owner of one famous watch production company and offered patent right to him. Then the owner of the watch manufacturing company has taken this digital watch into his hand and turned here and there, and then finally asked a question from the producer, where are hands of this watch? Kome orlosuwe katu. Then the producer had said, sir, there are no hands in my watch, but it indicates the exact time better than the traditional watch. Then the answer of the watch company owner had been, if the watch has no hands, I need not your watch. So please, you take it with you. Then finally, the producer has taken it to Casio company in Japan and sold his patent right. So that is the day that the watch industry of Switzerland was fallen apart. That is because the inability of one particular person to see the new kind of thinking out of the box production. So what is the box here? The box is, if it is a watch, there should be hands. There should be hands. It's a traditional thinking, present knowledge. So then what I have to tell you is that future cannot be explained by today's knowledge. So what is the thinking? What is the box? Box is the today's knowledge. Then if you try to add value to your product using the today's knowledge, you won't be able to win the market. If you are going to add value to your product through the today's knowledge, you won't be able to survive in the market, because today's knowledge is available with everyone. Today's knowledge is available with everyone. So whatever you do today will be copied by the other people also, because it's the today's knowledge. Today's science. Knowledge is the science. Science is a body of knowledge. So the future, if you want to win the market, if you want to add value to your product, think out of the box. That is, think not using today's knowledge. Be futuristic. Be futuristic. Go to tomorrow, not to yesterday, to add value to the product. Not go to the yesterday's knowledge and use it, or today. Don't use yesterday or today's knowledge. Use tomorrow's knowledge today. That is the theme of the dialogue, future today. So if you offer the future today, you have a survival as an exporter in a very highly competitive environment. So finally, what I have to tell you is that life is filled with boxes. What are the boxes? Boxes are the today's knowledge, or in another word, assumptions. A watch should have hands. Letters are written in black. These are assumptions, but not necessarily true. So challenge assumptions. Watermelon is round. Watermelon is round. Watermelon is oval shape. Those are assumptions. So look at this. So then if you want to think out of the box, you have to challenge these assumptions. Today's assumption based on the today's knowledge. Look at this. This is a orange. What is, if I question you again, what is the shape of the orange? Don't say it is round, because the shape of orange can be any type. Maybe square type, orange can be square type, or maybe another, maybe pyramid type, pyramid shape, or different shapes that you want. What then when the customer asks you what is the shape of the watermelon, or what is the shape of an orange, if you are a person with thinking out of the box, you ask your customer what kind of shape you want. What kind of shape you want? Then if the customer identify a particular kind of shape, then produce that kind of a product and offer him. What are these? So you may see that these are colored what? Pebbles? No, colored cones, but cones is colored not artificially, it is naturally. It is natural. Look at this. This is the traditional thinking. Corn is yellow colored. It's a traditional thinking. But the latest version, corn can be any color. Corn can be any color. It's a out of the box thinking. Then if you say, when someone question, if you say corn is yellow color, it's a thinking within the box. But if you say corn can be any color, and if you have the ability to produce different kind of colors of corn, then you are a person with out of the box thinking. Then the result of out of the box thinking is innovations that we discussed at the very beginning. Then the way to fight in the market is not the size. So big companies sometimes fail in front of small businesses. That is because what matters is not the size, but the wisdom. So if you have the wisdom of thinking out of the box, you need not to be afraid of even the big producers of the world. With a very simple, innovative product, you will be able to defeat the largest business in the world. So for an example, Selinco Insurance was in particular times, Selinco Insurance was the smallest insurance company in our country, in Sri Lanka. But within a single night, that has been changed by the concept of VIP, on the spot, VIP on the spot. So with the introduction of the on the spot insurance policy, the smallest company became a large company within a single night. So that is the thinking out of the box. So if you are an adult, you might have an experience of a traditional claiming of a motor vehicle insurance, but you could experience the effect of a VIP on the spot. It's a big difference, and made the smallest company the largest company within a single night. Then shall I give some examples, result of out of the box thinking yesterday? So these were out of the box thinking sometimes ago. Say, when we talk about the lime, there will be different kind of lime products. Real lime juice, lime cocktail, lime banana cupcake, lime juice, lime ice cream, lime hydrated powder, and lime soaps, etc., etc. So it's a different kind of thinking. So in Sri Lanka, in the season, limes have no price in the market. And in the off season, a single nut of a lime, single fruit of lime is priced more than 10 or 20 rupees. But then if the Sri Lanka has some producers who could produce hydrated limes or lime juice, then the seasonal effect could be avoided. Then corn, I explained you, thinking out of the box. Watermelon, we explained, result of thinking out of the box. Flavored tea, a result of thinking out of the box. But now these are not out of the box for tomorrow. These are the out of the box thinking in the past. Silver tip tea is another kind of innovation and thinking out of the box. But in the past, white paper instead of black paper, white paper, kind of a innovation several years ago. Virgin coconut oil was an innovation or a thinking out of the box several years ago, but not today. Then Lapim Buddha Payas, one nut price 1,349 rupees. When yen price was converted into Sri Lankan rupees, it is 1,300 or 1,350 rupees. A simple thinking, but high value addition to the product. Then durian is a very nutritious product, but nutritious fruit, but many people hate durian because of that bad smell. Then some producers found a solution for that. This bad smell, this durian product is covered by a layer of chocolate. So no bad smell is coming. Thinking out of the box. Modern kind of a wheelchair, modern USB port, USB thumb drive, because there are some people when they are going to eject the USB from the computer, they move it here and there. And මයියක ගලවනවා කියලා අපි කියන්නේ. මයියක ගලවනවාගේ USB එක හොලවනවා මේ පැත්තරයි මේ පැත්තරයි. computer එකට damage වෙනවා මේකටත් damage වෙනවා. But now here there is a particular shape. Then even though the user move it here and there, it doesn't damage the product. Kind of new thinking. Spokeless wheel bike. Spokeless wheel bike. Then what is the box? If it is a bicycle, especially a special bicycle tire, there should be spokes. But thinking out of the box, bicycle without a spoke, without spokes. Then if it is a tire, vehicle tire, a spare wheel was essential in the past. Spare wheel was essential. Spare wheel was essential because tire is filled with air. But now going out of the box, the companies have been able to remove the spare wheel concept. Now no spare wheel is required because the tire is airless. Airless tires. Airless tires. Complete thinking within out of the box. No more spare wheels are needed. Spare wheels are no more needed. Thinking out of the box. Then if we take your industry, maybe textile, maybe chemicals, minerals, or whatever, I don't have much experience to talk about your products. What could be the out of the box features of your product? So that is up to you to think. So I have taken you to the water. Now it is your duty to drink the water. So I explain you what is thinking out of the box. And by thinking out of the box is the traditional knowledge, today's knowledge. So then if you want to add value to your product, go beyond the traditional knowledge, today's knowledge, challenge the today's knowledge, challenge today's knowledge and thinking completely new, imaginations. It is your imaginations that become real one day. So Wright brothers wanted to fly in the sky. It was an imagination. But then scientists said, there is nothing lighter than air. So whatever the material used to produce the aeroplane, it will not fly in the sky. That is steel or metal does not fly in the sky. But now today, really, if you look at the sky, you can see many aeroplanes and rockets and satellites and a lot of other things. So this heavy material can be floated in the sky, but using a particular power. So then like that, think out of the box always, and try to find out what kind of new features can be introduced to your product. Then sometimes when you are trying to do this, the people may say that you are crazy. So when the farmer who produces a square watermelon, when he attempting to do that, other farmers have laughed at him. You can watch these videos in the YouTube. Other farmers have laughed at him, but he did not care about the criticisms of other people. So he continued his experiment. Finally, he was successful. So a watermelon that would be priced 500 rupees now sold for several 100,000 rupees to the as a result of thinking out of the box. So ladies and gentlemen, so I think that is time to me to say you goodbye. So anyhow, as Madam Kumuduni said, so I have to give you a chance for your questions. So now this is up to you to raise your questions. Mrs. Kumuduni.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Udayanga. Thank you very much for your very, very detailed, very simple presentation. I think that anyone, any beginner even can understand what you say in a simple way, very correctly. And also, I believe that this will be an eye-opener to the new entrepreneurs, maybe our SMB entrepreneurs. This presentation will be very much helpful for them to understand the requirements and actually what is the thinking out of the box. You have taken a number of examples to understand that. So thank you very much, Doctor, for your presentation again. And by the time we have received some questions from the participants, and I have selected one question to ask. That is one Mr. Chandana Deepal is asking that value addition should be depend on the innovation and the R&D. As a country, are we focusing on it? Actually, his question is that really, as a country, really we are focusing on R&D, and the value addition should also be depend on that. Do you have anything to say, Doctor, regarding
Yes,
this?
it's a very, very good question. As you said, really, value addition requires innovations. Value addition
Yes,
requires innovation. Innovation requires thinking out of the box. But the problem is that in a country like Sri Lanka, the education system has not been molded in a way that the students in the classroom think on their own way. In this our education system, especially in the government schools, the
yes,
students are encouraged to copy the teacher,
yeah,
then when we use to copy someone else, we will never be able to go beyond the boxes. So
yes,
what the teacher, if you are learning by heart what the teacher is given, that is we are taking the same knowledge to the future. So
yes,
no innovations, no innovations. Therefore, if anyone need to think out of the box, my advice is completely forget about what other people tell you, because other people tell you the today's knowledge. So then if you want to innovate, you have to forget about the today's knowledge and look at the future. Be futuristic. As the theme of a dialogue says, future today. So think innovatively, but for the people who are going to think innovatively, the biggest problem is the criticism of other people, criticism of the other people. When someone try to do something new, other people laugh at. Then if you want to do something new, if you want to think out of the box, if you want to make innovations, you have to dare to be different. You need to dare to be different. So if you want to read or learn more about this, there is a video by Steve Jobs when he first introduced his first Macintosh computer. You just type in the YouTube, here is to the crazy one by Steve Jobs. Just type in the YouTube, here is to the crazy one by Steve Jobs. Then you will be able to listen to the speech made by Steve Jobs when he first introduced Macintosh, his Macintosh computer. There is a big story behind that, but because the time passed, I don't take time to talk about this. But if you listen to that, the Steve Jobs say that when you are going to do something new, you will be labeled by the society as rebels, troublemakers, people who try to fix a round peg into the square bottle. And like that, different kind of titles are given for people who are trying to think think out of the box. So in very short, you will be labeled as crazy. So, but if you are brave enough to challenge these people, then you will be able to win the market.
Yeah, doctor, thank you. Some disruptions came from this noise. Sorry for that, because from the participant, because of the some disinfections are happening next to this room. So, doctor, thank you very much for your answer. And also that some questions are asking whether the Sri Lanka is allocating enough budget for this R&D. Actually, that is to be something that we need to think. But I know that R&D is very important. But when it comes to the larger companies, doctor, generally they have their R&D unit separately. They can invest also. But when it comes to the SME level companies, actually R&D is a problem for them. So
Yeah,
I think yes.
yes, madam. Really, big companies in the world, say example, Sony,
Yes.
allocate 7% of it is annual revenue, not the
Yes.
profit.
Yes.
7% of annual revenue for the research and development.
Yes.
But several years ago, university lecturers campaign protested asking the government to spend 6% of national expenditure for the education. But government did not agree with that. Still, only 1.5% of national revenue is spent for the education.
Yes.
Then really, if we want to do something new, we need to spend a lot of money for experiments. Then for an example, Thomas Alva Edison once said, if you want to make innovation, you need to have a very big bag of garbage. Very big bag of garbage, because the innovation mean many failures. So if you want to make a one big success, you may have to sometimes fail 100 times. So Thomas Alva Edison again said that when he tried to innovate the electric bulb, he failed more than 1,000 times. But then he said, I never say I failed 1,000 times, but I say that I found 1,000 method that does not work. That is the mindset that we need.
Yes. Doctor,
So,
okay, doctor. Thank you very much again for your all the explanations and everything. So we are going to wind up our webinar now. And thank you very much for attending, dear participants, for the webinar. And we will meet again with a very interesting topic in the next week. Thank you very much for attending. Thank you. Thank you, doctor.
Thanks very much for giving me this opportunity, and thanks for all the members of the audience for giving attention to what I talk about. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.